What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we are going to be doing another episode of Star Wars Battlefront 2 Mythbusters, this time focusing on all 4 of the new reinforcements that were added in the Rise of Skywalker update. There's actually a lot of pretty useful stuff that I found during these tests. I decided to leave out most of the damage and stat related tests, as we'll be doing a guide for each of these classes where I will be breaking down all of their damage stats and stuff like that. So if you do want to see those guides on the channel, then let me know and smash that like button down below. But without wasting any more time, we are going to get stuck right into it, and first up I wanted to test the First Order Sith Trooper. Now, for those who don't know, the Sith Troopers do have an alternate fire mode similar to Leia, where if you hold down the ADS button it'll shoot that alternate shot instead. So I first off just wanted to test if it does have a lock-on similar to Leia's. Now, this was kind of hard to test honestly, but what I found was that the lock-on is a little bit more strict than Leia's, where it doesn't really lock on from as far away in terms of the crosshair. But as you can see, if the aim assist does just slightly grab the enemy, even if you're technically not aiming straight at them, it will just have a very slight lock-on effect. So overall I'd say that it does have lock-on, but it definitely seems much less than any of the others like Leia or the ARC Trooper. Now, next up I wanted to test if the radar has a limit to it, as the description just mentions that it reveals the 4 closest enemies, so to me that just sounds like it has an unlimited distance. Upon testing it from pretty much as far away as I could get on the map, it does seem to be unlimited in terms of the range, as this was one corner of the map to the other, and it did still reveal Luke, so there doesn't seem to be any limit on that range. Next up, I wanted to see if there was any damage drop off on the alternate fire, and just keep in mind that with arcade it can sometimes be different, but it is worth a test either way. At long range it dealt 140 damage with one hit, and then up close it did the exact same as well, so as far as I can tell there doesn't seem to be any damage drop off with that alternate fire. Now lastly, for the Sith Trooper I wanted to see how long that grenade stops enemies from regenerating health compared to normal damage. Normally, Luke starts regenerating his health around 2.5 seconds after he stops taking damage. However, with this grenade, because it stops health regen for a while, it actually took him over 9 seconds before he started regenerating, so that's a pretty massive difference. Now, moving on to the Jet Trooper, and for this first test I wanted to just mainly show how far their tackle ability actually goes. There's really no actual point to this test to be honest, but I just thought it was pretty crazy how far they travel, so I thought it was worth sharing. Now, next I just wanted to test how long you can actually hold the jetpack trigger for before running out of fuel, and this came in with honestly a pretty crazy time at 11.5 seconds. I had no idea it lasted this long, so this was definitely one of the more interesting things I found out. Now, for those who don't know, if you hold the ADS button while you're using the jetpack or just generally in midair, it'll actually put you into a hover mode where you kind of just hover around at the same height, moving much more slowly but also a lot more controlled. For the next test I tried the same thing as the last one but with the hover version of the ability, and this came in with a whopping time of 31 seconds, which is a ridiculous amount of time to be in the air, but at the same time you are extremely vulnerable when you are just in hover mode. I'm sure this will probably get nerfed at some point, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see, but at least from the numbers this definitely sounds like it could become trouble once people figure out some dodgy tactics. Now lastly, for the Jet Trooper I just wanted to see if their grenade launcher had any damage drop off at range. Up close it dealt 70 damage per grenade, and then even at really long range it dealt the exact same, so as far as I can tell there's no damage drop off there. Moving on now to the Vici Gunner, and just like the Jet Trooper I thought I would just test the charge distance. It's not quite as long as the Jet Trooper, but it is definitely still a fairly decent run. Now lastly, for the Gunner I wanted to sort of follow up on a test I did on the Clone Commando where I equipped the health regen ability and then kind of just had a swing spam fest with both the Gunner and Kylo Ren. To no real surprise, the Gunner will actually beat Kylo in a 1v1 if both players are just all out attacking with no defense. So this is kind of troubling to me. Hopefully they can balance it out a little bit, but in saying that, who the hell plays that way anyway, so this shouldn't be too much of an issue. Now lastly, moving on to the Cafex Spy, and I wanted to see how much damage the mortar deals per hit. I tested it as close as I could to Kylo, and it seems to do about 50 damage per mortar, and it seems to do 400 all up, meaning I guess there's 8 mortars per use, which in my opinion is maybe a tad overpowered, but I haven't really seen it as a proper issue in multiplayer just yet, so I guess we'll wait and see. Next, I just wanted to see whether there was any damage drop off with the rapid fire ability, as usually when you increase the speed it's going to slightly take away the damage per shot. The base shot dealt 70 damage, and surprisingly when I activated rapid fire the damage does actually stay the same, so you can quickly deal 700 damage to the body as it does shoot 10 shots in quick succession. And again, I haven't really seen any issues so far, but on paper that does sound extremely overpowered. But anyway guys, that is going to do it for this one. This was definitely a little bit shorter than usual, and there was a few things that you're probably wondering why I didn't test them, but like I said, I am going to be making in-depth class guides for all 4 of these new reinforcements, so I will try and cover as much as I can in those videos. videos, and if you do want to see those guides, then make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. If there was anything non-stat related that you think I missed, then don't hesitate to let me know down in the comments, and I might even consider doing a follow-up to this episode if there is enough stuff that I missed. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.